Okay, it's time for the second advanced part of the Mercs tutorial. We're going to cover the Dynamite skip. I used to think this was complicated. Basically it isn't. You're going to hear the scary word subpixels. You don't need to worry about it. You can't really manipulate those. All you need to know is that if you move correctly, you can clip rifle into the side of this bridge here. You'll notice that his shadow is quite far to the right at the moment. His foot is touching the right-hand girder of the bridge. And from this position, if you're pressing upright, it doesn't matter, you can't go any further in, you're not going to mess yourself up. But from here, you'll get a good visual reference, you'll notice just how far a rifle's head is over. And if you're in this position, and there are no grunts around, you have got, from here, 10 frames, where you can shoot at this dynamite, and get under it without it exploding over you, like so. And that's pretty big, because your health bar starts at 32 points, the dynamite takes 16 away, and you're not going to get blown back. You might be able to save taking health crit from higher up the ground as well. So it's a really useful strategy to take. So from this position, the latest you can do the dynamite skip is here. This one is successful. If you wait any further than that, if you're too late, from the good position, don't worry. All that will happen is you won't have enough bullets to break the crate. You'll have to try again. So if you notice just how far into the side of the bridge the shadow is, I'm now going to load a save state where I don't have the correct subpixel. Immediately you should notice that your foot is slightly further into the centre of the bridge. The gun is further over. You kind of can't tell when you're using your diagonals like this, but if you do it on your verticals, you should notice you've only really got 1 pixel of shadow lined up with the bridge side. From here, it doesn't matter what you do, you will get destroyed every time. So this is definitely something you want to be practicing looking out for. What I recommend is that you load a save state where you can get into this good position with any diagonal movement from the left hand side, from when you get the power icon. Basically, if you move correctly through the prior area to get the speed boots and the power icon, then you should be able to set this up most of the time. But as you can imagine, you'll also want backups for this, and in the beginner's tutorial I recommended that you use NEM or wait it out. There are some slightly more advanced strats we can use, however. So if I try and spawn some grunts up on the pass on the left hand side here, we've got a grunt here. You can damage boost through with him. You do have to be careful not to lose your iframes though, because if you go too early, you might still get hit. What's important with this is to be decisive. Don't worry about losing some runs here. Don't wait here. Don't second guess yourself. Go for it basically. Because the cost of an M on an advanced run is something like a second. And when you've got dynamite vertically flush in front of you, you can't get close enough to it to trigger it to explode safely. So basically, if there's a grunt there, you might want to wait for a split second and then damage through like this. But again, you can get stuck here. These grunt grenades are also very bad for you. You can get through if you're good with your movement like this. So from this bad one, you can see just the difference here. You can see that you can actually get over. You've got a reasonably wide margin to damage boost through though. Just as I say, avoid those grenades, they're bad for you. And then you're going to come up here, and if you've got that skip, if you've got good health, you can avoid this med crate. Cost about 20 frames to get, but if you're in any doubt, then make sure to get that. And hopefully you remember what I told you about using this area here, pushing down to get this flak jacket. That's the Dynamite skip.